Well, hello there. Welcome to day 908 of What's She Up To Now. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom, that is me. I hop on every day and journal or document what I'm doing as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business. I spent 47 years in different businesses of my own. I started my first business when I was 13, and I've been in at least 27 different businesses and industries. 25, over a quarter century of those years, simultaneously, I was in corporate America, working for some of the coolest companies on the planet, to be honest. Some really amazing organizations, some world-class organizations that are household names still today, some that have merged with other companies, but different, both publicly held and publicly traded organizations and privately held organizations. And there's a difference. And that's given me this really broad breadth of understanding of different businesses and how we can be successful in them offline. And now the last few years I've been spending transitioning to the online world and learning about that. And as part of that, I began doing live videos. So this is just my way of documenting that. Over those same years, I have been visually challenged, and so instead of writing and journaling, I decided I would video blog what I'm doing, what's working, what's not working, what I'm working on, what I'm excited about, what I think is complete and utter BS, so that I can share the lessons that I've learned over the last several years, over the last decades, and if I can shortcut even one person's experience or get them to not make a mistake that I did, prevent them from making a huge error, a huge mistake, then it's worth my time to share and you know, put the news out there of what isn't working. Now, I will admit that I have fallen for so many of the online traps. I guess I did some of it offline, but offline it felt like mistakes or challenges were so much more dramatic than online. And it's because the cost of entry and the cost of participation and the cost of mistakes in terms of resources, usually time, energy, and money, were greater. To do things offline, I grew up in a manufacturing environment predominantly. I love manufacturing, absolutely love manufacturing. And so if you want to make a change in a manufacturing environment, it involves a lot more resources and physical things than if you're doing something online. If I'm creating an online course, or if I'm creating an offline program for a department in my business, say I'm creating a human resources tool or a quality manual or something, to do that offline for a physical business is different than to do it online. Well, now I do all that online. It's easier to do it online and then just share it with everybody. But we didn't have that technology when I was in corporate America. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have access to technology and information and the tools and the strategies and all of the things that are available now. So in a lot of ways, to do things, the barrier to entry is much lower, but because the barrier of entry is so low, there's a lot more people entering the markets that we're all competing in. Now, I have my own view of competition. I think that if you're being yourself and working in your genius zone, providing your unique products and services to people, competition becomes irrelevant. The more you're being yourself, competition is just irrelevant because there's only one you. Nobody can compete with you, which is personally why I love live video. Now, I can't believe I'm saying I love live video, because a couple years ago I was scared to death to show my face or have anybody hear my voice on even recordings. I remember, geez, I don't even remember what year I did it in, but with Jim Edwards, I did an audio book for the real estate industry because in real estate back then. And I remember being scared to just even do that and have my voice out there in an audio book. When I was a kid, I had tonsillitis and laryngitis and things like that. A lot of the itises, I was prone to infections, which has led to different health challenges over the decades. But as a kid, I almost always had tonsillitis. So I was one of those kids that loved the taste of amoxicillin. I still like the taste of amoxicillin. I don't take it very often. I don't remember even the last time I took it, but as a kid, I learned to like the taste of amoxicillin because it was the only thing that relieved my throat issues. Well, from those illnesses in my throat, I have a really gravelly, gritty voice. My kids and even my granddaughter's like, "Grandma, please don't sing." You know how as a grandma and a mom, you always want to sing to your kids? Well, my kids and my granddaughter were like, And I thought maybe it was just my kids and maybe my voice had changed, but my granddaughter reminds me periodically if I try to sing that I don't have a good singing voice. And I'm totally cool with that. I've never was going to be a rock star, right? Doesn't every kid want to be a rock star or an entertainer at some point? So I didn't want to be out in the world. I didn't want to show my face. It's scary, right? It's scary to show up because guess what? People are going to hate you. People are going to say, you're the most boring, retarded person I've ever seen in life. They're going to name call. They're going to tell you you're the Wicked Witch of the West and the house should fall on you next time. So there's all kinds. I guess the Wicked Witch of the East was the bad one, right? East, West, North, I don't remember. Anyway, not Glenda the Good Witch, but they'll compare you to things. They'll make fun of you. They'll pick on you. They'll harass and irritate you. But they only do that when you've gotten their attention. And you'll say something that irritates them. I'm sure I say say things that irritate people all the time. I have a little sign in back of me. This reminds me of my friend Jim Edwards. You know, I'd like to apologize to anyone I have not offended yet because at some point, please be patient, I will get to shortly. Meaning, I am going to be me, you be you. I don't ever expect anybody to agree, sorry ducks, with everything or anything I say. I want you to challenge everything I say, not challenge it in a negative way, but challenge it for yourself. Number one, if I say something that upsets you, ask yourself, instead of attacking me, why does this upset me? Why does it upset me? I used to have to do this on myself, and that's how I got over some of my beliefs and thoughts about things. I used to, believe it or not, be one of those people that had internal road rage. I didn't have external road rage. I didn't do anything to act out against other cars, but I would get really offended if somebody tailgated me or cut me off in traffic or popped in front of me and didn't signal or whatever. And one day I had a Eureka moment and I realized, you know what? That person doesn't even know I exist. They are off in their own little world, rolling to wherever their destination is, and they couldn't care less about me. They're just doing their thing. Now, there are a-hole drivers out there that do try to mess with you, but the vast majority of people, me included, and all of us, are just out going about our business, doing our thing, going our way. And a lot of times there seems to be this mentality that, hey, it's my road, get out of my way, I'm here, which I don't get that. But I used to get that, and I had to remind myself, nobody is even paying attention to you. So often we fret and we worry and are afraid to do things because we're afraid how people will view us or how they'll look at us or how they'll judge us. And the truth is, people are more concerned with themselves than they ever are about you. Yeah, there's those few bully people that will go out of their way to pick on you or be mean or to criticize you, but the vast majority of the people never will. The vast majority of people are busy living their own lives. We all have our own lives to live. We don't have time to stick our nose in yours. And are there those people that live vicariously and want to stick their nose in your business? Yep, they're going to pop up, but guess what? They don't matter because you realize at some point that they are doing it to make themselves feel better or bigger or their ego or for some other reason in their life that has nothing usually to do with you. You just happen to be a convenient punching bag or whatever. But it's when we take it personally, you know, there's so many things that we can do that we don't sometimes because we do get our feelings hurt. We do take things personally. So showing up and being yourself, I think the whole point of that is that just being you makes it possible for nobody to really compete with it, right? Nobody can copy 100% you. They can copy your stuff, they can steal your stuff, but it doesn't matter because you always create more. So my Eureka moment with road rage was that, hey, nobody really cares. Nobody really cares. I was thinking about that yesterday. I was going for a walk and I was like, I feel terrible in this exercise outfit. Now, why am I judging myself on that? Number one. Number two, I realized nobody's paying attention to me when I'm out walking. Nobody cares when I'm out walking on the dike, it's called, when they're out walking with their families. They're out with their families having fun, walking, having a great experience. They're not even paying any attention to me. So why do I care so much about what I'm judging myself as looking like as I'm going for a walk? I'm usually sweating and I'm like ponytail sweating and I'm like, nobody cares. So get over yourself and just go for your walk because you know you feel better when you do it. So I do it. I think that's maybe a ploy to make excuses to try to let myself off the hook to not do it. But guess what? I I never let myself off the hook, so why do I still play those mental games where I'm trying to let myself off the hook? Once I commit to something, I'm going to do it. So I've committed to exercising every day, so I do it. I don't let myself off the hook. Get Up and Go Challenge today, preliminary day 5 was about you decide what everything means. And it's a big topic, but that's another one of those Eureka moment things. Once you realize that you decide what everything means, not for the world, but you decide what everything means to you. And guess what? That is the world. It only matters what things mean to you. Now, sometimes we change our definition or we change what things mean based on different experiences or things. But a lot of the times, how we define things, we carry throughout our entire life. Beautiful might morph and change over the years, but each of us has a totally different idea of what beautiful is to us. And it doesn't matter what your husband or your significant other or your kids or your friends think is beautiful. If you think it's ugly, you think it's ugly. If you think it's beautiful, you think it's beautiful. And it only matters how you respond and how you feel about it. It doesn't matter how anybody else feels about it. Supersize Your Business today was about cloak and dagger. This was as close as a cloak I could get. And I actually used my little fun mask. Where is that? I'm going through stuff, so I found this creepy fun mask. I like the mask because I like the flowers on it, but otherwise it's kind of creepy. Never really cared for this style mask. It was a gift. I don't even remember who gave it to me now. It's been that long, but it's a creepy mask. But I used that for my cloak and dagger because I needed a cloak and dagger idea. And cloak and dagger, that was a stretch. I will admit, that was a stretch to figure out, well, how does cloak and dagger, how can you use cloak and dagger in your business to help grow and supersize your business? But as usual, I came up with some things. And then in our lives as well, don't we all like to be entertained and some excitement and some mystery? Of course, we like to feel different things that are outside of our experience. Most of us have never, ever truly had a cloak and dagger experience. I'm trying to think if I've ever had a real mystery or intrigue or spies. I guess some corporate spying went on in my lifetime and in my experience, but not super exciting intrigue. I haven't been involved in industries like the financial sector or things where there can be, I guess the housing market was a lot of corruption, but I didn't know that even a lot of that was going on. I was in a little part that I didn't even know that to realize that was happening. And it wasn't happening in my sphere of influence. It was happening, as in the industry as a whole. But there's a big documentary coming out on that about the housing bubble of 2008, a multi-part series. I can't remember what it's called. It's called The Con or something. I just heard about it yesterday, and I'll be listening to it because I'm really curious about what they've uncovered about that whole thing. Because we always knew that it was a big, manipulated, corrupt thing, but didn't have any proof, so it'll be interesting to watch that and see the proof of that. But the truth is, stuff like that goes on in every industry. Every industry has its negative element, its evil element, its corruption, every single one. And different industries have a lot more than others. Politics has a lot more corruption than, I can't even think of an industry that doesn't have any corruption. So there's always a teeny tiny fraction and percentage of the population or of the world that will go to the evil, the negative, the element. We live in a dual universe, good and evil, opposites. Opposites exist. There's much more good in the world than there is evil, but our entire lives have been predicated and focused on pointing out the bad, pointing out the evil, pointing out the negative. Thank the media, which is another corrupt industry, for that. Media, it's hard to even, you notice we don't call it news anymore because it isn't news. It's manipulated propaganda and based on the agenda of the powers that be in those particular organizations. Happens in every industry. Like I said, I'm trying to think of an industry or an organization that doesn't or has not experienced corruption, and I can't think of one. I guess if you know one, put it in the comments below because I would love to know that. There's good and bad in absolutely everything. And it's up to us to choose what we're going to focus on. I'm always going to focus on the good. Do I get intrigued and pulled into some of the cons and negative and conspiracy theories and bad. Yeah, I'm not going to ever participate in them, but I do want to know a little bit about them so I know how to avoid those mistakes that they've made. Fun challenge today was Eureka. It's all about that figuring something out, or that aha moment, or that epiphany when you realize something, kind of like I realized about road rage. Because usually, as far as I'm concerned, the best Eureka or aha moments for me are when I figure out something about me. Usually something I've been thinking that's in my face is absolutely ridiculous, or something I've been believing that I see finally for what it really is, a big fat lie, both positive and negatively. Sometimes we convince ourselves of things that are actually totally not true for us. Again, everything gets filtered through us and what it means to us. We decide, we filter everything based on our past experiences. And really, all of our experiences, the sum of all of our experiences, all the results we get, good and bad, determine our life. They create our life. They are our purpose. Our purpose is to experience this life as only we uniquely can. It's going to be different for each and every one of us. So that's what I'm working on today, working on the details of the next Get Up and Go Challenge, August 1st through 31st, Get Up and Go Challenge page, Get Up and Go Challenge private group for people that want to be able to participate in a more private setting where what they say, what they comment, what they do isn't going to be spread out to the general population. It's just going to be in that private group. I like having a private group along with my challenges. The public one is where I post all the challenges. Private group is where I put them in order. So if you miss a couple days or want to catch up, because a lot of people don't, it's family time on the weekends. They don't want to participate in a challenge, even for 10 or 20 minutes a day over the weekend. They don't want to do it. So then it's all in unit order, and for the challenge in that private group. I've got a private group, and in the private group already there's a 30-day challenge, a 30-day challenge, a 48-day challenge. I think there's a 10-day challenge in there, but I did not put that one in a unit. And I think there's even a 5-day challenge in there, because I've done several Get Up and Go challenges. Here's the thing, they're all different. Every single one of them is different. Most people nowadays are using challenges as their marketing launch strategy to sell a product or service, their product or service at the end. I do not do that. And the marketers of the universe would be saying, you're stupid, you're leaving money on the table. I'm not doing my challenges to sell people something. I'm doing my challenges for you. I'm doing them for you to learn and get results and see how powerful they are, and share how powerful they've been with me in my life, so that you can get the same incredible results that you want for you, and the results that you want for you. What I want for you doesn't matter. What I want for me matters, which is why I love challenges and continue to do them. So August 31st, continue to work out the details of that. I think I've decided it's going to be 10 minutes a day, so that people are getting ready for kids to go back to school. They're getting ready for the changes that are going on in their families and in their lives. I know my granddaughter's getting ready to go to kindergarten, so I'm feeling some of that, that new challenges for people as well. That's it. If I can help you in any way, ask in the comments below. I'm running lower on time, and I don't know how long I will continue to say this, that, hey, if you've got a problem or a challenge, or you don't know what to do next, and you don't have anybody to ask, just ask, just message me. Again, if I don't know the answer, which, I don't know everything. I don't even pretend to know everything. I don't even know hardly a lot of stuff, but I do know a lot of stuff in certain areas. And if I don't know the answer, I can at least point you in the direction of how to get the answer. I pride myself in being super duper good at finding things and figuring things out. And again, it won't necessarily be me that has the answer, but I know I can put you in the right direction to get the answer that you need. That's it. Have an amazing day. I will be with you tomorrow with what I'm up to, what's working, what's not, as I transition from the brick and mortar world of real businesses in corporate America to the online world, and how you can learn to do that too without it taking forever, without making a lot of mistakes, without going down the wrong path. Most of the people that I work with and interact with, it's because they're frustrated and they've found that they don't know what to do next. They don't know what is the right next move. And guess what? It's what's the right next move for you. But there is a success path that can make it easier depending on what it is that you want to do. If you just want to get an online presence, there's a quick and easy path to that. If you want to attract more people to your business, there's a quick and easy path that you can use for that. You can do it the hard way like I did. You can do trial and error and learning and go down all the wrong shiny object roads that you can learn. You can think you have to do everything yourself, and figure everything out yourself, I fell into that trap with a big suck, where it sucked me into thinking, I have to know how to do all this. I have to know how to do all the technical stuff. I have to figure it all out. That's what led me to become a certified partner for the ClickFunnels organization. I'm like, and then I got there and I'm like, I don't ever want to do this. I don't want to be an agency. I don't want to sell this or create funnels or marketing plans for other people. I want to help them with the overall setup and strategy for their business, because that's what I'm best at, is the big picture strategy and thinking and what to do next in any situation to get you from where you are now to where you want to go. That's it. Have an amazing day. If I can help you, hit me up. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow.